Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Just have a little play with the Compaq since I haven't done a video this week. I've been pretty busy, but I hope to be back on form next week, maybe. I've done a couple of little jobs on the Compaq last night. I've fitted a CF card into it to use as a hard drive. Now it only uses a very early BIOS, which I'll show you now. You can only access the BIOS via floppy disk. Now this BIOS is very limited in its disk drive and hard drive selection. Setup initializes CMOS memory to indicate the current configuration of your machine. It will identify as much as it can. Please wait. Now the reason it's taking a long time to do anything is because it's a little bit confused about the CF card. Oh, there we go. So the current date is 5th of the 4th, 1987. It's 4:30. 1.2 megabyte disk drive and Type 9 hard drive. 640k RAM and no extended memory. I'm not going to change any of that. It seems to work okay. Now the problem is that the CF card I had in here is the one I pinched out the Commodore 386, the laptop, and I don't know what type that was. I mean the BIOS on the Commodore machine, you could select the cylinders and sectors and all the rest of it. On the Compaq I cannot. So if I select fixed disk, disk 1, what type is it? I don't know what it goes up to. Well, not a 20 clearly. 15? No. 10. Don't know what a fixed disk 10 is, but I'll change it. No, we'll try that. See what it does. It will either boot or it won't. But anyway, what I think I'll do is I will update the ROMs. I'll take the ROMs out, and I think I've found some much later Compaq ROMs for the Compaq 2. This is quite an early machine, so I'll update the ROMs, and that should give me more hard drive selection and access to a 1.44 floppy instead of it thinking it's a 1.2. Strangely, even though it thinks it's a 1.2, it still reads a 1.4 quite happily. But if I try to format it, it will format it as a 1.2. See, it's still fine to see. I did have quite a few things on here, but I've formatted it as I've been playing about. But anyway, we'll go back to A. We'll run some bench tests. Oop, not beach, bench. This is obviously a 286 8 megahertz. I might, if I get bored, upgrade it to a 12 or a 16 if I can find one. But all I want to do with this ultimately is run a bit of telnet on it. It's not really particularly interesting for playing games on. Benchmark. I don't know what this is doing. It's running some scientific software, electrical values or something, and then it gives you a score at the end of how quickly it can calculate various bits of data. You probably can't see any of this. Calculating 500 points, 450 values done. So that's how long it took. I haven't really got a clue what any of that means. Okay, so I am 2.4 times, 2.5 times slower than, turn that down, 2.48 times slower than a 16 MHz 286. I am 7 times slower than a 386 and 29 times slower than a 33 MHz 486. So what we can gather from that is we're pretty slow. But that's alright. I don't mind it being slow. So we are an Intel 8286, we are 7.958 MHz, we are a 287 FPU, and we have enhanced graphics. An AT to perform like this would have to run at 9 MHz. The FPU would have to run at 4.74, and we are getting, or it, I'm not sure if this, right, what exactly are you telling me? CPU and FPU tests. The CPU test forces the processor to show the effects of an instruction cache. It is thus more accurate than a previous version. On color systems, blah blah blah. FPU test, screen updates. Multitasking, variable readings. Video tests. Video BIOS. Blah blah blah. MIPS. Norton System SI was too simple. MIPS, somewhat arbitrary. Dry stones, blah blah blah. So 9.3 megahertz, 9.03 megahertz for the CPU, 4.74 megahertz for the FPU, and 566 for the video. Like I say, this floppy disk is a combination of the Compaq disk and some various things, bits and bobs I've thrown on. Don't know what SI is. What's SI? System information. Alright. There's a Compaq DOS 3.31. It is Wednesday, November the 20th, 1985. Oh no, the BIOS date is Wednesday, November 1985. November the 20th. EGA color graphics, Intel 286, 640K of RAM, computing index in relation to an XT is 7.7. Not sure what that means. Oh, very good. ROM rev. Let's see what ROMs are actually in this machine. It's a 286. It's ROM revision D. Keyboard revision. System D. Video is non-compact. You're right. Keyboard controller revision C. There's a revision D ROM set. 1986, 1987. I'm sure I've seen a ROM download from 1988. So we'll have to see. Could not find QBasic. No, you won't, because I've deleted it. I did have quite a few games on the C drive until I formatted it, so obviously there aren't quite so many now. But that's it, I just wanted to show you the little specs. I'll put a CF card behind here that obviously you can't see, and the LED kind of works. The LED kind of. CHK DSK. Hey, testing my DOS memory here. CHK DSK C. Will that work? Yeah, kind of, but not really. Can I get this square? Sort of. Like I say, my goal is to get some sort of networking on this machine. So I might do some of that Sunday. I've got a big weekend coming up. It's a family weekend, 60th birthday. We're having a pig roast tomorrow, a hog roast, and vast quantities of alcohol will be drunk, so I'll be fit for nothing on Sunday, I suspect. But we'll see. If I'm dead to the world, I shall see you at some point later. Anyway, that'll do for now. It's just a quick little look at diagnostics and things. Well, not diagnostics, bench tests. So I'll see you shortly.